the triangle exterior angle theorem. It's kind of a lot, right? Very wordy. So here, what's happening in this diagram is working with the non-adjacent interior angles. What does a non-adjacent mean? That means that the angles, the interior angles that are not adjacent to angle 3. Adjacent means next to, right? Here, so non-adjacent means that angle 1 and angle 2 are not next to angle 3. Okay, so you're going to be using the two non-adjacent interior angles, which is angle 1 and angle 2, and we're going to be using sum the sum of the non-interior angles. When you add angle 1 plus angle 2, it will be congruent to the exterior angle, which is outside. The reason why it's controlled the exterior angle because it's outside of the triangle. Okay, so we're going to be using the two interior angles that are inside the triangle that are non-adjacent to that exterior angle, and we're going to be using the exterior angle. The relationship between those two is that the sum of the non-adjacent interior angles will be congruent to the exterior angle. What does congruent means? They have the same value. Okay. With the sum of the two adjacent angles will have the same value as the exterior angle. And we'll explore that concept a little bit more through this example. Okay. So here, once again, we're going to be working with we're going to write the equation. Here we're given the exterior angle. Here, exterior angle. And here, these two angles here, we have I'll just put abbreviations, the non-adjacent interior angles. Okay. So we're using the non-adjacent interior angles, and we're going to write an equation for that. Once again, we're going to use this equation on top. The sum of the non-adjacent interior angles will be congruent to the exterior angle. So here we have the non-adjacent interior angles. We're going to add that together, which is angle 1 plus angle 2. And we know that the value of angle 1 and angle 2 will be congruent to the exterior angle of the degree of x. We substitute the value of angle 1 of 50. We substitute the value of angle 2 with 60 degrees. And the value of x will equal to 110 degrees. That's pretty much it, right? So the value of x equals to 110 degrees. And you're done. Okay. Once again, you can always double check your work. How do you double check your work? You can substitute the value of x with 110. Once again, the goal for this is you need to complete the statement, right? The sum of the non-adjacent interior angles will have to be congruent to the exterior angle. I know it's kind of simple. When we add angle 1 and angle 2, we know that the total was going to be equals to, when we add 50 plus 60 will equal to 100 degrees. Oh, sorry, 110 degrees. And it has to be congruent to the exterior angle as well. Here we found out that exterior angle here, exterior angle's value is 110 degrees. So does this fit the theorem or the statement, right? Does the non-adjacent interior angles, when we add it, we equal to 110, is it congruent to the exterior angle? It is, right? The sum is equal to 110, and the exterior angle that we found out using theorem is also 110. So this checks out, right? Because why? Because the sum of the non-adjacent interior angles are congruent to the exterior angle. Okay. Let's explore that a little bit more through the next example here at the bottom. Here is, I want you to try it out, right? We do one example and I want you to try it out as well. What is the answer for the exterior angle in this example? Okay. So here, how do we do x equals 100? We just, once again, we're going to add the non-adjacent interior angles, which is going to be, we're going to add angle 1 plus angle 2, and it will be congruent to the exterior angle. Exterior angle. The value of the exterior angle is x degree of x, and angle 1 is 65 degrees plus 35 degrees. We can go into the value of the exterior angle, which is the degree of x. Okay. So here, 65 plus 35, that will equal to 100 degrees. And we know that the degree of x will have the answer of 100 degrees. Okay. So once again, let me close that poll. Once again, you can always double check. Will the exterior angle's value of 100 will be equals to the non-adjacent interior angles? We can just go back to our process, right? We know that if x equals 100 degrees and know that the value of the non-adjacent angle is equals to 100 degrees, then you know that your answer of x equals 100 degrees checks out, right? So now let's go to the second version of what students were making mistakes on. Why did a lot of students put x equals 80, right? Let's kind of explore that a little bit. So I'll show you a different way to solve this equation, right? So we know that answer is x equals to 100. So I'm just going to kind of imitate the same diagram here. I know it's kind of looks off a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to have the value of, here, I'm going to put an arrow because I don't want it to look kind of wrong. So these arrows, that's also a good way to do an example when you're doing your assignments. When you see an arrow pointing up to the angle, that's the value of the degree of that angle. Just for the students that are not kind of familiar with it. Okay, so here a lot of students say 80 degrees because what happened? They use the triangle sum, right? They use angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equal to 180 degrees. They're using the triangle sum there in this one, which is not wrong. Okay, I'll just show you why. Here, angle 1 and angle 2 is 65 degrees plus 35 degrees. And here you don't know the value of angle 3. Since you know there's a variable of x, you can't use the variable of x this time. We have to choose another variable, right? If you want to choose the variable of a, then that's fine as well. Okay? Here, and it equals to 180 degrees. Once again, I just changed the degree. I just changed angle 3 into a because I'm kind of familiar solving equations with variables. Okay? So please don't overthink this. Next is 65 plus 35 is equals to 100 degrees plus the degree of a is equal to 180 degrees. So you know that the degree of a minus 100 degrees on both sides are equal to 80 degrees. Okay. Once again, the degree of a, you can always change it intertwined between angle 3. So you know that the value of angle 3 is equals to 80 degrees, whichever angle a, degree of a, or angle 3. You can name it how you want to. Okay. So you know that here, a lot of students said that the third degree is equal to 180 degrees, right? So that's where they got their answer of 80 degrees. So next one here is, you can still find the value of x, right? You're using, if you found the third angle in the triangle sum, you can use a linear pair actually. A linear pair. A linear pair means that the two adjacent angles that forms a straight angle, right, will equal to 180 degrees. Okay. So now we're going to add 80 degrees plus x equals to 180 degrees. This time we're not using the triangle sum, right? Here we know that the value of the two angles equals to 180 because of a linear pair. Okay. So since we know that's a linear pair, if we minus 80 on both sides of the equation, then you know that the value of x equals to 100 degrees. So you know that x here equals to 100 degrees using a linear pair method. Okay. So that's why I said you're kind of half right, but all you need to do is add a linear pair and you find the value of x equals to 100 degrees. That's two different methods. Here you have two different ways, right? You use the triangle sum to find the third angle of the triangle, and then use linear pair to find the exterior angle. Kind of long, right? Compared to you doing just this, right? if you found out the non-adjacent angle, exterior angles is congruent to the exterior angle, you just add the two non-adjacent interior angles to equal 100. It'll be congruent to the exterior angle, which equals to 100 as well, right? Compared to this one, right, is kind of long, more steps. But is it wrong though? No, it's another method in solving the problem. It's really up to you on what approach you want to go about it. Okay, that is the second to the last example. Now we're gonna do our last one. Degrees, and this is the degree we're trying to find. Okay, so I want you to try it out and see if you can find the missing angle. Majority of you got the answer correct. The answer is 30 degrees. Why is it correct? Because let's just go over it together. Okay. So what you did probably was you wrote the equation of the, again, you can just write down non-adjacent interior angles, right? And you're gonna add angle 1 plus angle 2 will equal to, or be congruent to the exterior angle. So angle 1 here, we don't know the value, so we put the degree of x. And we know that the second degree is 80 degrees. So we can go into the exterior angle, which equals to 110 degrees. Here, we're going to minus 80 degrees to find the value of x. Degree of x equals to 30 degrees. That's pretty much it. You can always double check your work, right? 30 degrees plus 80 degrees will equal to 110 degrees, which is the non-adjacent interior angle sum. So we can go into the exterior angle, which has a total of 110 degrees. Okay. And that's it.